Okay, we're going to continue solving this problem. We just got done solving for x, so we need to substitute x in for x over here. So I have area equals 10 minus 1/2 y minus pi over 4y, that's my x, times y, plus, and I'm going to do some change around here. This is pi over 2. This is y squared over 4. It's going to be helpful to simplify your area before you take the derivative. So this distribute the y. So I have 10y minus 1/2 y squared minus pi over 4y squared. You can combine those y squares if you want to, but there's not really a need to. And then this all can become pi over 8 y squared. So we really have 3 different y squared terms. If you want to combine those into something, then you can, but there's not really a need to do that. So now let's take the derivative. We're going to solve this on our calculator. It's easier to solve the derivative, combine these after you take the derivative, because some stuff's going to go away. So I want to take the derivative, so that equals 0. Derivative of 10y is 10. Derivative of negative 1/2 y squared is negative y. Derivative of negative pi over 4y squared, 2 times pi over 4 is pi over 2y. And then this would be pi over 4y. So really, this is not a super complicated equation. We'll solve it by hand, then you can also show you how to use your calculator. If you're careful with your numbers all the way through, it's not bad. So take the 10 over, and then if you factor out a y out of the other terms, you're left with negative 1 minus pi over 2 plus pi over 4. Just taking out each of the coefficients. So y equals negative 10 over negative 1 minus pi over 2 plus pi over 4. So at this point, like if you're checking your answer in your book, it's always going to be in this form. But I want to go ahead and change it to a decimal so it's something you can actually calculate. If you're building it, you wouldn't leave it like that. So negative 10 divided by negative 1 minus pi over 2 plus pi over 4 is 5.6, and it comes out to a pretty nice decimal there. So y equals 5.6, and if we go, we'll leave it at just 5.6 because there's enough zeros here. You can go back and substitute then to find x. So go back to where your x was, or go back to the perimeter, either one. I'm going to go back to the x. X was 10 minus 1/2 y minus pi over 4y. So x is 10 minus 1/2 times 5.6 minus pi over 4 times 5.6. And it ends up being 2.8. If you want to push the buttons yourself, you can. There's the calculation. So the dimensions, 2.8 for the short side and 5.6 for the long side. And when you're answering this question, you want to make sure that you have the dimensions. You can't just say 2.6 by 5.8. You have to say where, because this is the radius. This involves the radius of the circle. And so that would affect the overall value.